Hey, hello. I decided to revisit Underpin with my Blood DK. I'd done this on my Frost Mage, but I hadn't really. I tried it a couple times with Blood DK at the start of the season, but I figured, hey, let me get some better gear, and I'll come back and do this. So I did work on it, and I got the kill, and I realized I wasn't recording, so I headed back in so I could replicate the event. And it took me more pulls than I would have liked. It took about 10 pulls the first time and probably another 10 pulls for the second time. But I did record the second time. So I will go over kind of how I set up for this. Gear level's pretty good. I know it's over 660. I went with Kaja Colas. And I'm running Bran with the pinged Curio, knowing that the little ads are going to be coming out and stunning him if I don't catch him in time, which I really can't during this fight. But I am assuming Bran will just be down for a few seconds. He'll be back up in the fight. Did go with more offensive trinkets, get some more damage. One thing I was worried about when I started pulling this was, will I have enough DPS to break the shields? And as it turned out, that's not really an issue as long as you're in range, get some hits in. We can break through the shield pretty quick on a Blood DK. I am running a Deathbringer spec with Exterminate, so of course that helps. Now you can see I moved over to kick some bombs at the ads. Now when I did this on my mage, it was not so bad because I could blink back in his position because the boss kind of moves around depending on where you are. But unfortunately, there's not as much leeway to do that on the DK because we don't have that kind of blink movement. We're fairly slow, so be aware of where the boss is and don't stray too far away because he has a habit of jumping around, and in several pulls he ended up jumping out of distance where I couldn't get to him because there was stuff in the way or those big red lines with from the ads going across and shooting stuff. Like I said, it's not actually too hard to break his shield, so I did not then end up holding cooldowns very much for the shields coming up. Right when this encounter started, I blew all my cooldowns, and then pretty much it's as they come back up. I did try to save either Vampiric Blood or Dancing Rune Weapon for the shields here. As you can see, shields up. I threw a Reaper's Mark into him, and not really much trouble getting through that shield. Because I knew I just busted through a shield, I went ahead and hit Vampiric Blood here, get some more DPS into him. It's a balance, of course, but you try to keep the ads minimized a little bit, but there's only so much you can do. And if you spend too much time working on the ads and keeping them minimized, then you're going to fall behind on the boss. Now this right here is a real tricky situation with a melee class. Unfortunately, you got a bunch of ads up and they're all shooting stuff at you, but you need to get into range of that boss to work through his shield. And then the boss has chosen to be kind of up against the wall there, which also makes it tough. He's always going to be targeting you with those orange circles where you are, or his crush attack that he does. That's targeted at you too, so when you get boxed in a corner, it can get pretty tough. Luckily, I managed to survive that. Now here again, we're looking at a pretty tough situation. He throws up shields at 1% here because I couldn't quite get to him. Finish him off. Which means I gotta break this shield. But as long as I break the shield, dots alone will take him down. But you can see where the problem is right there is there's so many ads up all shooting at you at the same time, as well as things targeting you, that you really don't have much room to stand. So just, the best you can, try to move the boss out in the open, though he just sits still when he's doing a lot of the stuff, so it is hard to move him. Anyway, I thought about trying to do it again, so I'm actually living at the end of the pull, but I already completed it one more time than I really wanted to, and I just wanted to share kind of how I set up and move around for that. Like I said, as a Blood DK using Deathbringer, we have plenty of DPS to push through that boss, so I think that kill was about half the time of my Frost Mage. So, and keeping Bran as DPS, and then running the pinged Curio, you can look at his damage right there. It's a little bit more than mine, so that's good solid DPS coming out of Bran. Kaja Cola, maybe you could try something else, but there's not really that much useful in the Curios for this one, so Kaja Cola is fine. Just remember, if you're trying multiple attempts, zone out in between, because if you don't zone out, then after you die and you come back and go to the fire, there's not going to be that multi-pack there for the extra couple colas, so you do want to zone out and come back in. All right. Hey, well, thanks for watching. Catch you guys on the next one.